Evening YouTube, we finally got the fish room just about finished. We managed to take all the aquariums that were all along this side of the wall, which, well, they stuck out about 2 feet and went down about 14, 15 feet. Drained them all in the last few days and pushed them over to the other side of the room. Managed to organize everything a lot better, and got a new 55-gallon. Shout out to Dave Pig too for hooking us up with that, free of charge. Just say get it out of there. Say okay. But yeah, I think it's going to look really, really good. One of my favorite rooms in the house right now, next to the music room, which we'll get to on another time. And yeah, well, I guess we'll get on the whole setup now. We'll start off down at this end. Now this is the whole length. If you want to move back over here, you got the whole length here moved from that side over to here. So we've got the 30s, the 55s, the 40s, the 55, and another 30. We've still got other 30s that we're going to be probably setting up, hopefully, or I'd like to get bigger eventually too, because I got to get bigger for that guy right there. We've got the red jewels over here. They've been spawned again. We've got the babies over there right now, which they spawn quite often. Got a couple crayfish. Got a very large crayfish living inside of that structure, which I might have to move because they like to hang right around him. And you get up top of the tank, you can actually see up high that they've been living with guppies for a couple days here. And we're going to be finding that interesting about a few tanks that have guppies that really shouldn't have guppies. We move over to the big guy here. Now our lights all went out on the original lid, so I'm only running one side right now. I did have both of them all connected, and they strobed pretty hard, so I got a bad connection somewhere. So I just took an old 20-gallon lid, slapped it on the top here, and it worked out quite nicely. We got that nasty old African claw frog still. We've had in for about 5 years, maybe even 6 now. About the same length of time as we've had that big Oscar there. Not much has changed about that, except we do have a Jack Dempsey down behind the filter, which he's hiding right there. You can't really see him. He's being a little shy at the moment. We move down to, well, he finally stopped. The previous takes of trying to do this video, he's been picking on the pleco pretty hard. I probably should have the flash going, but yeah, if I had the flash going on the camera, it would be a lot clearer. That's where he's going to get to. But he spent most of his time picking on that pleco, like more than most fish would bother beating on an armored fish. As you can see by his lips there, well, if you can't see him, he's got them sore just from picking at him. We moved down to the tank that DP gave us, and if you look over the corner here, you might be able to see him. We've got a fairly good-sized crayfish. Trying to find extra light, which I don't seem to have at the moment, but I can. And he took off, which you can probably see him. No, you can't. He's under the bubbler as well, so that's not going to work. But that's alright. Move over to these guys here. And those are the wife's pretty albino. Look at that, they're even posing for you right now. Gotta love that. I'm just going to sit here and let them show off for a second. I've always found that with Oscars too. Whenever you actually go up, you could have a tank full of fish. If you've got an Oscar in there, you bring the camera out and they're right up to the camera. Out of all fish species, I find Oscars remind me of puppies. Now, if you look at the bottom of the filter down there, or the pump filter, I don't know if you can see them. You got 2 spotted Raphael catfish. Oh, they're almost sitting on top of each other right now. And here they come, because they gotta just be in the picture. And if you slide over just ever so slightly, you get the electric Blue Jack Dempsey. Over the last couple days, he developed a little bump near his back end on the other side. And I'm not sure what it is. I've been keeping an eye on it, and I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. And there's a bunch of babies in there. Little red jewel fry and guppies. Oh, and by the way, if we go back over here, and look up, yep. We've got guppies living all in through this tank with these big Oscars, and they haven't bothered any of them, oddly. They've been with them for months now. Ooh. But yeah. And then down at the very end of the fish room, you've got oh, the typical, because sometimes we do live feeds, but we tend to raise our own live feeds. And sometimes they're guppies, and well, we've got ourselves a nice little set of guppies with some of them we just can't bring ourselves to feed, because some of them have such nice coloration and designs that you just kind of want to hang on to them, because they've got like 13 different bright fluorescent colors to them. This one right there with the dragon tail over here. Like, I'm loving the colors in that. Little hard to get a nice hit on them, but they've all got beautiful coloration. And these ones down here, we've got some crayfish down in here. A couple of little crayfish to keep the bottom as clean as we can. And then another slew of very colorful guppies. That was not camera shy at all. And then in this tank over here, oh, I never turned the light on this one. I can't even find the light. It's not the brightest of tank. There's mostly catfish in here, and guppies, of course. Can't really see them down back there, but light up a little bit here. Got some of the pepper corridors, the common ones. And then we got two more pepper cats. Oh, and back here popping out and crittering away. And of course more guppies. Eventually we'll do a small video of the guppies that we've got upstairs. It's more than guppies, but it's like a 70-gallon upstairs with loads of community fish. Lots and lots of small ones. And then down at the very, very bottom, we've just got some red jewel cichlid fry. Very tiny down there. Throwing them out. Yeah. That's what we've got going so far. I'm thinking it's looking pretty good myself so far. props to the missus for being so pushy on getting it done. It would have taken a lot longer. Yeah. And so far, I'd say that I'm very pleased with it. We're gonna continue off the shelvings to go down and hopefully get a over at least I'd like 125 gallon. That'd be really nice, because I'd like to try to have him, the big Oscar Atlas, in a bigger tank with the plecos and the Jack Dempsey there, and of course the frog, and hopefully try to add another fish or two in there, because he seems to be pretty good with other fish. He's been in with black shark before, and he didn't mind the black shark. We've had other Jack Dempseys with him, he didn't mind. He don't like his own kind. He tends to, every time you put another Oscar in there, it could be two Oscars, he just charges at them. It's never good. And when we first put him next to the flower horn, he wasn't too pleased about that either. So I'm not sure if it's just opposing fish that he don't like too much, or what, but he doesn't seem to mind any of the others. But yeah, I'd like to get him into a bigger tank and maybe add another one or two fish. Not one of his own kind. That's just not working. Because them two, they work together extremely well. They pair it up and they really are together all the time. You don't want to pair up with anything. It's not going to happen. So, you know. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Longer than most of the videos I put up, but we've done a lot more work down there than usual, and I'd say we've got a fair bit done, and it's looking alright. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, do all of the traditional social media stuffs, and have yourselves a great evening. Take care.